Yeah, hi there. These comments, I'm going to just use your initials OB, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. So you completed, it looks like, practice test number 15. So again, part of what you're trying to do here is to eliminate or reduce some of the language use errors that you're having. And that is going to have a positive impact on your score. So if you notice in the response, if I make any corrections, anything that has to do with language use, start keeping a speaking journal. Write these things down so you can get more aware of what some of your grammar or vocabulary issues might be. Even if I recommend some corrections with your pronunciation, again, you might want to write some of these notes down in your journal so you can get some, you can start looking at that. So this question is, how have mobile phones changed our lives today in relation to some years ago? And then you say,
hi there, Michael, the founder and instructor of the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT.
How's it going, buddy?
And this is Obedallah, one of your TOEFL course students.
We got it.
And in this time, I responded a question in 45 seconds. I was hoping if you could evaluate my pronunciation skills, give me a score,
yes,
and give me some advice like always. And on my last practice test, I achieved a score of 23 out of 30. And in this time, I would achieve a score of 24 or 25 out of 30. And also the question that I'm going to read belongs to practice test number 15. So the question is, how have...
Now be careful, you said practice test number 50, but it's practice test number 15, so be careful. So let's practice some sounds here for a minute. You ready? Let's start with 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Let's contrast that with the numbers of 10. Okay, you ready? 13, 30, 14, 40, 15, 50, 16, 60, 17, 70, 18, 80, 19, 90, and then we have 20. So the main thing, this is what you got to be careful about. With numbers of 10, you put stress on the second syllable. 13, 14, 15, 16. Now with numbers of 10, it's opposite. The stress is on the first, not the second syllable. Then you say 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. You see what I'm saying? So that's big trouble. If you can't pronounce your numbers correctly, that can cause a lot of trouble, I think, in conversations because people are going to be confused. So if I go to the store and say, how much is that shirt? And you say, well, the shirt is $50, instead of saying $15, then we're not understanding each other. That is going to cause major problems. Now, if you need to practice, I think it's in the sentence rhythm part of my course, you can practice numbers of 10 and numbers of 10.
Mobile phones changed our lives today in relation to some years ago. Use specific reasons and examples to support what point of view.
Let's go back to what it says.
Our lives today in relation to the question is, how have mobile phones changed our lives today in relation to some years ago? Use specific reasons and examples to support what point of view.
We got it. Go for it, buddy.
So the response, mobile phones changed my life today in relation to some years ago.
Mobile phones changed my life now in relation to some years ago. I would probably say there have changed. I would use present perfect tense there. Write that down in your notes. Because the present perfect means you're not just starting to use the phone today, you have already been using this mobile phone probably for several years, right? So I think the present perfect is going to work better than just the simple present. That's my own advice on that.
Because by mobile phones, I can be aware of current situation, and I can call.
I would say because not my mobile phones I can become, but say because with my mobile phone I can become more aware. So you need to use that prepositional phrase, I think, there. That way it doesn't look like you have two different subjects in the beginning of your sentence.
People in distant places. Firstly, I can be cognizant from events by mobile phones.
I got to listen to that again. I'm not sure what you're saying. Hold on.
People in distant places. Firstly, I can be cognizant from events by mobile phones soon.
I'm not sure exactly what you're saying. I'm going to be honest there. Now, I talk with non-native speakers every day. And if I cannot understand something that you say, a lot of people who are not used to talking to non-native speakers, they're certainly not going to understand. So I apologize, but something that you said, I couldn't exactly understand what you're saying.
Rather than a few years ago, like yesterday there at the downtown of our city, an explosion was happened, and I called my father, which was very afraid of me.
You said that a little bit odd. So yesterday, you might want to say yesterday, there was an explosion in the downtown part of my city, you can say.
And he became delighted because I wasn't injured. And secondly, now I can call some of my friends.
He became delighted because I wasn't injured. Delighted is probably not exactly the right word because you're talking about a terrorist attack. Now, your father's probably not delighted, but he's grateful. He's probably thankful or relieved is probably better. Your father is relieved that you are not injured in the attack, but probably not delighted. Delighted doesn't quite fit that well there because you're talking about a very serious situation there. So I would probably say there, my father was relieved when I called him to tell him I was not injured in the attack. That's probably a better word that you could use there.
Which are in distant places in a short time.
All right, so now let's take a look at your score here. We can figure out what is your score maybe and why. So I think, again, you're not going to get that score you're looking for. You have language use and some delivery problems here that are making it a little bit difficult to understand what you're saying. So that's going to put it just below that. So I'm going to put you maybe about, I'm going to say 22 points out of 30, 2.83 out of 4 on this one. So make sure you're taking good notes. I just gave you some important feedback on some problems that you're having here. All right? Thank you.